And we're back with the Geelong Regional Footy Show. I'm your host, Wes Cusworth, and we turn the spotlight on the Geelong Football League. And Josh, as we consider what has transpired across the course of last weekend, you got to see the clash between Colac and Newtown, and Chua. Clearly it was the Tigers far superior.
Yeah, they're a bit better, I should say, and a bit stronger than Newtown. The Eagles had a fantastic start to the season. They've blooded a lot of younger players through this year, and I think just in this back half of the season, it's probably showing that young players are just starting to tire, and it just gets a bit tough for them when they're playing those bigger bodies. Colac are another young-ish side, but still have a lot of, especially big midfielders and big forwards who just a bit too strong and a bit too much talent for Newtown over the weekend. And Colac are a funny one, that they can't quite crack that top echelon of teams at the moment. They're currently sitting fourth and very safe there, but they're yet to show whether they can truly compete with St Joey's, although no side's been able to beat them this year. But Bell Park also and St Mary's are probably the other two teams that haven't been quite able to stretch. They beat Bell Park earlier in the season, but have them in a fortnight's time, and that'll be a big test to show just before the final series whether they can really crack it and possibly make a grand final.
I just want to talk about one Colac player in particular. Earlier in the week, the GDFL media team did our list of top ruckmen.
Yep.
Now, if memory serves correct, Lockie Buell was one of the best in the business a few years ago, and I'd suspect based on that form, he's still doing some great things. Where would he rank in your list?
Certainly up there, Alex.
Yep.
Father time isn't quite catching up to him yet, been around a long time, as you well know. But he's got some fantastic support from Zach Zeidel this year, a young ruckman, just 19 years of age, and he's, in the second half of the season, pretty much taken the number one ruck mantle off Lockie Veal, which is no mean feat. They're resting Veal a lot forward now, and at times they even play Zeidel as a roving midfielder almost, a bit like Geelong with Mark Blitzarves occasionally. So they're just changing things up a bit, and Zeidel's kicked 14 goals this year and been a really nice offsider to Veal, who did need some help. Probably couldn't carry the ruck load all by himself, and he's come out of the Geelong Falcon system, first year out of it, and has taken to GFL footy like a duck to water.
You made reference to St Joey's a little bit earlier. Obviously, they had a stellar weekend. They had 14 individual goal kickers. No one cracked the double figures, but nonetheless, it was a pretty impressive display with a massive score.
Yeah, not quite. Kiriam Paliuris came the closest with 9 goals, a career best for the ex-Geelong VFL midfielder, but it was, we believe, according to records, the 6th highest GFL score of all time. 280 points they chalked up, 42 goals, can you believe it, which is just ridiculous against Lara, who unfortunately have 2 in 2015 and now 1 this year as well. They've conceded the 3 of the top 10 highest scores, which doesn't bode well for the Cats, but yeah, St Joey's they're obviously in a completely different class to Lara and different stages of development, obviously. So, St Joey's just keep marching on and on their way to being the first side since North Shore in '98 to go through a GFL season undefeated.
Now, I mean no disrespect to Matt Spence and the Lara boys when I ask you this question, Buzz, but we're both Cats supporters in the AFL.
Yep.
Which Cats loss over the weekend was more devastating given the expectation of the side? Lara, with that margin as a cellar dweller, or Geelong to Sydney, given it, and I've got to be careful because Paddy Dangerfield's actually literally next door, so
he is.
What's the answer?
What was more disappointing? Oh, you can never look past the AFL team, can you, Alex? Very, very disappointing. I think Lara, they know what they're doing, they're on the right track. Joey's are just far out of their league at the moment.
I just want to talk about Geelong West. They had a win on the weekend, and then they defeated St Albans a couple of weeks ago, and then they had a loss to I've just gone blank. They've been a bit on and off in the last couple of weeks. Yep.
Yeah, look, it's been a funny old season for the Giants. They won their first 4 out of 8 rounds, and then hadn't won a game until the weekend just gone. So went from round 8 to the weekend just gone without a victory. But their last month or so has been a bit more promising. They just struggled up forward a little bit, but they're starting to generate a bit more form, and it was a really good win over Grovedale, who aren't as bad as the ladder position probably suggests. It was a really good tight victory coming from behind as well at three-quarter time to come over the top in the twilight fixture at West Oval.
Leopold, an opportunity lost against Bell Park. I think it was an 8-goal to 2 third term, so the Lions missing another opportunity?
Yeah, 32 points up, the reigning premier, and then last quarter just got overrun. Did have the aid of a breeze, Bell Park must be said, but even so, be disappointing for Leopold to blow a lead like that. I do get a sense that they are starting to turn a corner. They've got Jai Thompson back, their inspirational premiership captain, Jack Berry, their ruckman from the Geelong VFL, Darcy Keast is a key defender back from injury, and Trent West, an ex-AFL ruckman, will come back possibly this week, and if not, the next. So they might just start to turn the corner, Leopold. Sitting in fifth, still only 2 games ahead of North Shore, who also missed an opportunity over the weekend to close the gap to fifth with losing to St Albans, who they beat early in the season. So North Shore and Leopold face each other in the final round of the season. And look, let's hope for the sake of the competition that possibly they play off for a final spot. That'd be a nice way to finish an away season.
Again, that's remarkable. Leopold, they played 2 of the last 3 grand finals, and North Shore, I think for a space of time, had only won 4 games over 4 years. So
yep.
What has been the key at North Shore? Take nothing away from Jason Davenport, Nathan Peoples and the like, even, all that, but how much does their success have to do with their recruits?
Look, it plays a part. Certainly, Corin and Curvis, they've got over this season from Tasmania, who's filled a key defensive post. It has been really good. They've got Julian Dosbos from Sandringham in the VFL, who's a centre-half forward and is doing some nice things out of the goal square too. But they've also put a lot of time into their kids. Bailey Etridge, Jonathan Akarachi is on the Geelong VFL list. Harry Purcell, another one. They've got a young, nice group of players who are building their own culture and driving that forward along with the guys you mentioned.
Can't let you get away without making some sort of comment about what Leopold may have taught other sides and themselves about Bell Park with their strong positioning early in the game.
Yeah, they just struggle with transition, Bell Park. They've always been a very strong contested side, and the question mark, especially going to Simmons Stadium, is can they get their transition game going? They're always going to be strong in an under team, but the question remains, can they spread? Do they have enough pace to cover the ground, especially come finals time, which is what St Joey's and St Mary's do really well with some younger legs. So possibly that's a thing that Bell Park still have that question mark remaining, is can they get both sides of their game going to compete with the very best in the GFL.
Very quickly, before you go, the game for this weekend that you're calling?
Yep, we've got Leopold and St Joey's at Leopold, 89.3, Kicks FM from 2 p.m.
Should be an absolute dead set cracker. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the panel. I hope you've enjoyed the match review from last weekend. We trust that you've enjoyed the program and you'll tune in again. This is the Geelong Regional Footy Show. All the best for your football this weekend.
We come together, the best from all the league, to show them how to play and form a mighty team. The pride of our region with all our favourite sons, never ever beaten, Australia's #1. We'll get the goals, boys, right from the jump, if we use some handball and never shut.